Tennessee continues its recent recruiting momentum with the addition of Cody Brown. Brent, we went down and talked with Cody back in March. It's been clear that Tennessee was, one of the top teams for him for a while, but they really have surged over the last month and a half, and he found his future football home earlier today.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this credit goes to Jay Graham. I think the two of them have developed a really good relationship. Boston, you and I were talking before we recorded this Tennessee two take here. There's some similarities to their background, to their histories. I think there's a lot that's very relatable between the two, and I think over the course of the last few weeks, months, those two have related to each other very well. It was clear when we were down there he liked Jay Graham, but I think the relationship with Graham has clearly elevated itself over the course of the last 6 weeks or so.
So where does Tennessee stand out running back? That's 3 running back commitments, Brent. I mean, you look at Jalen Wright started it off with his commitment back in March, and Tennessee picks up Tyon Evans on Thursday, the last day of April, and then they kick off the month of May with Cody Brown. Tennessee loses 3 running backs. Is it conceivable that all 3 remain in this class?
Well, I think Tennessee would love for all 3 to be in this class and remain in this class. Will they? That's going to ultimately be up to the young men committed. That'll be their choice and their decisions. But Tennessee's not going to cut a running back. It was not yesterday. It was not, Evans is in. That means Brown's out. They were going to take all 3 to begin with. I think Cody Brown knew that. I think Evans knew that. I think Jalen Wright understands that they're recruiting. Have been recruiting other running backs. The one thing about the trio is that there's a different quality to each of the 3. Nobody's a mirror image of the other. And I think that's something that Tennessee will sell to them, that they complement each other and they could be complementary pieces to each other. I think the thing about Cody Brown, Austin, I just like his makeup. I like his mental makeup, and I like the versatility to his game. I think he can catch it out of the backfield. I think he can get you some tough yards. I just like the completeness to his game as something that is attractive and why Auburn wanted him so bad. Georgia flirted with him some. Obviously, Tennessee made him a priority for a while now.
Yeah, Cody's he's a stocky, powerful running back, has good speed. But is a guy that, will flat run you over, is tough to tackle, and, had another solid back alongside of him there at Parkview, Brent. So he's not totally, shouldered every carry, even though he is the marquee tailback there at Parkview, a team that made it to the semifinals before losing to Harrison Bailey and Marietta, and realistically probably is the favorite to win 7A coming up this fall.
Well, you make a great point, Austin, when you talk about the fact that he shouldered the load. He split some time. He was the feature back, but he did not, just get wore out every game, 40-plus carries. So he has an idea of playing in not a crowded backfield, but as a complementary player to another back. So that may help him be okay with the number of backs that are in the class because he understands, hey, it's not been all about me. I don't need it to be all about me to be successful. And obviously – Jay Graham's had success with multiple backs. As a player, he played on a roster that was loaded in the backfield where everyone was satisfied and happy. So I think there's plenty there for them to manage with that. But again, I think Cody Brown is a really good football player. I think he's a guy who has a lot of the qualities that Jeremy Pruitt and Jay Graham want in a tailback. And I think once Jay got to know him more and more after he transitioned from A&M to Tennessee, I think Jay Graham liked Cody Brown a lot more the last 6 or 8 weeks than he liked him the first couple of times. He watched him and talked to him, and he liked him then. But I think even after that fact, Cody Brown became much more of a priority for Jay Graham.
I'll say this, and we'll get out the door. You go back to 97, Tennessee gets the 2 Travises in and Jamal Lewis. You go back to the early 90s, Tennessee had a backfield that had James Littleman Stewart, Aaron Hayden. Of course, you mentioned Jay Graham was on the tail end of that run, and also Charlie Garner. I would probably liken this more to that early 90s run because Tyon Evans is the Charlie Garner, not the speed gadget guy,
right,
but the junior college presence to this. It's not like all 3 of these guys are high school running backs. One of them is older. One of them will only have 2 years left to play. I think that changes things when you look at them taking 3 running backs in this class.
Well, I think so. And then I think when you look at Jalen Wright, he's a guy who's kind of a toy you can use in a lot of different ways. It's not inconceivable to say to Jalen. Hey, Jalen Wright and Cody Brown, you're going to be on the field at the same time. We can use you in a variety of ways together. Remember this, too. I'll throw another tandem back there. There was a year that they got Cedric Houston, Jabari Davis, and those
Derek
guys,
Tinsley.
and Derek Tinsley. I mean, and Tinsley and Davis knew each other really well. There's three guys right there that played complements to each other in the backfield, used in a variety of different ways. So it's not like this is the first time somebody's been loaded up at running back. Georgia's done it with success. Tennessee's done it for years with success. So I don't think that having three necessarily scares somebody off. And I think Tennessee will work hard, and Jay Graham has a good enough relationship with all three that there's a very realistic opportunity. Tennessee's going to sign three running backs whenever signing day is.
Tennessee picks up the number 69 player in the country, that being Cody Brown, running back from Parkview, just outside of Atlanta.